Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I have no makeup on, but I wanted to do just a sit down and talk video about my next stage in PGD. So, if you don't know me, I'm Ellie Osborne. I have a condition called myotonic muscular dystrophy type 1. Sometimes I just say MD. So if I say MD, then I'm talking about it. Quick rundown, and we'll link to my other video in the description below because it explains a little bit more about what MD is. Basically, it's a degrading muscle disorder. Basically means I can't grow muscle. Like if you go to the gym and you rip your muscles, then you drink protein and it builds your muscle. Basically, I can't do that. However, I can conserve what I already have. I don't have much, but you know. So my partner and I have decided to have children. If I look down, I'm just looking at my notes. So I want to talk about what we've decided to do for having children. So it's a really, really long system to go from like deciding to have kids to actually having treatment on the NHS, etc., to have children. So I basically went to my doctor who referred me to a woman in Great Ormond Street. It's not because Great Ormond Street is to do with children. It's because it's where the genetic clinic is, sort of thing. So I went there, I spoke to a nice lady, and she basically explained my options of having children. I had to go with my partner. I would have brought him along anyway if I didn't have to take him. So she spoke through the options. She said you can conceive naturally, and she said then what we do at 12 weeks after the baby is fully formed, so after 3 months, they will test the embryonic fluid, test the baby for myotonic dystrophy. Now, if the baby has it, they would advise an abortion, either to go into surgery and have like a sort of C-section, or deliver the baby stillborn. I'm not against abortions in any way, shape, or form. Also, this is only my view. I'm not putting my views on anyone else. This is just what I have personally decided with my partner after long discussions. But doing that, having the baby aborted at 12 weeks after it's fully formed, I'm not sure if I could do that. And as there's a 50-50 chance my child could be affected, I don't really like those odds. So the other choice is pre-implantation genetic diagnosis. Obviously there's adoption and fostering, but to do with having my own child. There's pre-implantation genetic diagnosis, which is basically like IVF. So the process is, you see so many people, like I said, I've seen doctors, then I saw this lady, then I saw a genetic counsellor at Guy's, which is where I've decided to have PGD. And then I've seen another doctor who took blood and did a fertility test. My boyfriend had to give a sample of semen to make sure he's all good. So I've seen those people. Then I am now waiting for an email to start taking some pills so they can plan when I'm ovulating. And then I go in and they scan me, and then they give me drugs that I have to inject myself with, needles, for 2 weeks. 2 different drugs, so one drug and another drug. And then they harvest all my eggs, take all the follicles with the eggs, then they fertilize them with the sperm, my boyfriend's sperm, then they freeze them, and then it takes 2 to 3 months and they test them all. And the ones that have MD are discarded, and the ones that don't have MD, they'll try and grow for 10 days. And if they grow 10 days well, they'll then ring me and be like, look, we have 2 or 3 viable eggs. They say they should harvest, a good harvest, sounds really weird, you harvest food, but also you harvest eggs. A good harvest is like 15 to 20 eggs. And I was like, can I have 100? They were like, no, then we've done something wrong if you have 100. So I was like, okay, I don't want 100. Good bit of news though. When I was 21, my best friend was told she has polycystic ovaries, but she doesn't have any of the characteristics. She doesn't have like a lot of facial hair, and she's smaller than I am. She's like a size 6, and she was told she has polycystic ovaries, and she was like, maybe you have it. Your periods are really erratic. So I was like, okay. So I went to the doctor, and he basically said, you're on the cusp. He said, you might have them, you might not. You're fine. When I went to the doctor about a month ago to the hospital, he did a scan of my ovaries to make sure everything looked good, and of my womb and my uterus and stuff. He was like, you have so many eggs. And I was like, oh, good. And he's like, I think you have polycystic ovaries. And I was like, I was told I was on the cusp. And he goes, well, you're meant to have, he says 12 or more and you've got them. And he was like, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. He goes, you're definitely like well over the cusp. And I said, how many have I got? And he goes, we'll be here all day. But he said, but because we have to take your eggs, he was like, actually, that's really good. And I told my mum, and she was like, your dad gave you the condition? She's still with my dad. She's not bad mouthing, but she's like, you got the condition from your dad, and I've given you something to overcome it. So, cha-cha-cha. So, basically, I have polycystic ovaries. And that's good. So I have lots of eggs to harvest. So he says that the doctor said he's quite confident that I will be fertile and have a good harvest. But the next option, or the next step, so it's my cat. Lynxie, what are you doing? If you see a cat jumping or meowing, it's my kitten. Don't eat the roses! No. Sorry, hang on. The cat is eating the roses. No, Lynxie. Does your cat eat roses? Because mine does. No, Lynx. My partner bought me roses once. They were all, stop it, covered in sparkles. And I came home and my cat's face was covered in sparkles because he'd been eating the roses. Lynxie! He's beautiful. He's a ginger one. Shall I show you? Come here. No. Look. He's my baby. He's only just turned 1. He's still a kitten. That's why he likes to eat my roses. What is this? What is this? You're eating the roses. What are you doing? I love him. He's so beautiful. He likes to watch the birds out the window, don't you? Do you see birds? Do you see the birds? You go catch them. Don't eat the roses. No, Lynxie. He's beautiful. He's my companion. Honey baby. He's my baby at the moment. Hopefully another baby soon. So, I mean, it takes a long time. Over a year ago, I actually spoke to the doctor to get referred, but it takes a while. No, kitty. But yeah, so we have to go in and hopefully they'll say everything's all right with us and they'll book the harvest date and everything and give me all the injections and everything. But it's been over a month. I did ring them. I hope they have my right email address because they said they emailed me about when I need to start taking the pills. Take the pills for 10 days. I mean, with the amount of forms, when I went in last, in the beginning of April, filling like hundreds of forms, like loads, and my partner's dyslexic, so I had to fill in all his forms as well as all of my forms. Also, you need to know either your driving license number, which is handy to have, or your hospital number, because they always ask for that, and it's just like put it on your phone or something. It's just really useful. I really want to document my PGD journey. I was thinking of making maybe a new channel called PGD and Me and my partner. But tell me what you think in the comments. I'm not sure if I should make like a dedicated channel for it or not. So yeah, I've wanted to make this video for a while because I said I would talk about it and then I didn't. But we have decided to go ahead. What's really good though, right? My boyfriend doesn't ask a lot of questions in meetings, but the ones he does ask are very good. So we would technically want more than one. So my boyfriend said, if we're successful in one of the 3 tries that we have, he said, how much is it if we want to have another one? And I was thinking, 10 grand. And she said, if you've got one frozen, like 1,500? And we were like, that is a hell of a lot cheaper than we were thinking. We were thinking, like I said, 10 grand. So that was really good. So what will happen? Say if everything happens and they call me and say, look, we've got 4 viable eggs. So I'm like, great. So I have one implanted, doesn't work. I can have the other 3 implanted, obviously separately. That still counts as one try, because every try is when you get the injections. So if I have 4 tries, like in the first and then 4 in the second and third, I could have 12 goes at getting pregnant. However, they did say if something happens and it looks like I'm unlikely to get pregnant, they will say, look, we should probably stop the treatment now. But I mean, everything looks good so far. We'll get my blood results when I go in. But fingers crossed, I should be pregnant by October, November time. I would prefer to get pregnant December, so then I could have a baby in September. So they'll be the oldest in their year. I think they learn slightly quicker when they're older, but if they're the youngest, then they're as clever as people who are nearly a year older than them. So there's like pros and cons to having kids like either like August, September time. I just really want an unaffected child. As you can see, my cat, my kitten. Linksy. Links. So yeah, I just wanted to sit down and have a chat. Hence, I have no makeup. My hair's looking a bit rubbish. I've just been to the osteopath because I hurt my shoulder. General day. But when I go back in to the hospital, we're going to Guy's. You can either go to Euston Square or Guy's Hospital. We picked Euston Square, but apparently they had run out of all their funding and they were only funding women at 39 because you have to fit into a few brackets to get PGD, and you have to be non-smoker, you and your partner, which me and my partner David are, who you'll see in our vlogs. You have to be in your BMI, which I just am. I've been eating more, so I put on a bit of weight because I want to have a healthy child. You have to be under 39, and you have to have over a 20% chance of having an affected child. So I fit into all of those, but the reason that Euston Square is doing 39 is because they run out of funding, so they're just using their funding for people who aren't going to be eligible next year. And my geneticist told me that either Euston Square or Guy's are the 2 best. So we decided to go to Guy's. They're really nice there. I mean, it's quite far. It's 2.5 hours-ish from my house, because I now live in Essex, not in London. But I don't mind, and hopefully, I'm not sure yet, we're inquiring, I can have the child at Southend Hospital, because I need like a special pre and postnatal team, because I might have to go into emergency C-section because my muscles won't be strong enough to deliver the baby, but I'm not sure about that yet. There's all stuff I've got to find out, but I could be pregnant by October, which is really exciting. But yeah, I just thought I'd give a little bit more of an insight. So the next step is getting my blood results, and booking everything in for harvest and injections, etc. So yeah, please, any questions, just in the comments below, and I will endeavour to answer them. Do you want a new channel, PGD and me? Do you like these chatty videos? Yeah, and like and subscribe, please. Really helps me out, and I will keep updating this when I have some more news. Bye guys.